All right. Good morning, everyone who is with us, and welcome to Environmental Coffee House. As I am your hoster, hosted it, Sandy Shellis, and it is so good to see everybody here. I need to move my little thingy over a little bit. Something's going on with my overlays. So I'm going to just fix this picture. The one picture that's behind this, which is my snowy morning. There we go. Lock it up. Good morning, everybody. So today I'm going to talk about the what seems to be on everybody's mind is Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, who is the guy that scares everybody. Oh my God. So, we're going to talk about Jeffrey Epstein. And Jeffrey Epstein, he's got his wormy little fingers and everything, even climate change. you know, this guy, he friggin' definitely exemplified elite climate denial. Oh my God. And he didn't reject the science outright. No. He treated ecological limits as irrelevant to the people on top, to the one percenters. That's how I see it. And at least from what I've read. And I've got some articles for you guys. So we're gonna take off. I'm gonna say good morning to Nadia and hello Linda and Foggy and Kameshwari Kate. All right, you're in your pajamas. I'm in my robe because I got to get dressed and go out. Hello Alex and But the Truth. Yes, it's great to see Dale. I see you. We're gonna actually talk about football all the way at the end. All the way at the end. I have a good show, I think. So don't forget to, you know, you're joining me. Click the like. I'm only on YouTube today, so we got to wait for people to join us. But I am going to talk about this wormy piece of shit, Jeffrey Epstein. But everybody in the Jeffrey Epstein sphere is disgusting. I mean, they're all disgusting. They make you sick. He was in these intellectual circles, and they made climate change seem like something as a future technical challenge, basically, like Elon Musk, with going to Mars, but certainly not something present or a physical emergency, I don't think, from what I've read. And Jeffrey, the evil one, he actually prioritized humans, human optimization, and he dibbled and dabbled in genetics and us being technologically dominant, and didn't look at overshoot ever. I talked about that in my piece on Substack, but he also talked about population and that it was like a control thing. He didn't talk about overconsumption or work with people that talked about that. They were kind of into a little bit of eugenics too, I think. Yeah, I do think there was never any really meaningful evidence that they were talking about mitigation or protecting the environment. Oh God, no, they flew everywhere. They didn't give a shit about any of that. They thought that their money, their wealth, that would insulate them, that they would all have their bunkers, bunker babies. Saw that video I made? I think there's not a video I haven't made of everything. But the denial, I think, for this dude maybe didn't argue with the physics of it. I think it was just, well, there's no responsibility. And really, they think that they can escape. They really do. They think that they can escape and they can say sayonara and leave us all behind. Yep. So I've got a bunch of things I picked up, but I thought it was pretty interesting. And while you're all joining, maybe I will go over here to Yale Climate Collection Connections first. And let me change my screen. Let me pull it up, and I'm going to change my screen. And we're going to go over to Yale Climate Connections. All right, screen change time. Good morning. So this was from actually in November. And this article, climate change, Jeffrey Epstein, climate change doubter. And this was from the first tranche of emails, I believe it was. Newly released emails show Epstein peddling climate denial myths to scientist Lawrence Krauss while Trump's first term was getting underway. So it's like this guy he had his little dirty, grimy fingers everywhere. And I'm not going to read the whole thing because I do want to read another one that is by somebody that I like a lot. But this one from then was saying that newly released documents in late 16 and early 17, after the orange turd was elected to his first term, Epstein exchanged emails with celebrity physicist Lawrence Krauss, who at the time was the director of the Origins Project at Arizona State University, and Epstein was a major donor. Oh, I mean, the tentacles just go so far out. And supposedly, he said he liked the argument that more CO2 is good for plants. Wow. We'll see. This guy, Krauss, he left Arizona State University. And guess what? For what? For what? Allegations of sexual misconduct. What the fuck else is new with these people? What else is new? So let's see. Yes, Freeman Dyson says that too, Krauss replied, referring to a prominent climate denier. He has cherry-picked data, the typical act of those who believe the answer before they ask the question. So in his next email, Epstein raised another myth. Is the South Pole getting colder and more ice? He added, I'm here with the Trump people in Palm. And when asked, I say, I don't have any idea if this global warming is a threat that can be reduced. So Krauss said that the West Antarctic ice sheet is melting at an unprecedented rate. So then a few months later, Krauss wrote to Epstein with a reaction to the Trump administration's authorization for funding for NASA. This is not supporting science. It's all about the size of the rocket for him. We know he has a tiny little rocket. All this will do is give him glory and not contribute to science. So you told me you were worried about space, and I told you not to worry. He will decimate climate change and support verifiable projects, Epstein said. Well, reached for comment by Yale Climate Connections. Krauss said he hoped he had an impact on Epstein's perspective. Well, I doubt it. But I want to move on. I really do, because I want to. This is somebody I really like, Peter Sinclair. I have been following Peter, and you know what? Peter has not been a guest on my channel all these years I've known him, but he picked up on this first. He actually picked up on this first on February 2nd. And he shows that Jeffrey Epstein had been writing with Bjorn Lomborg, who is a horrible person and a big denier, and tries to always say, oh, it ain't happening. You know, he tries to twist his, sorry, I gotta have some coffee. He tries to twist what's real. Dear, good morning, good to meet. Thanks, John. I'm on the phone now, and let's do something tomorrow morning. My PA is in Budapest, Zuzusa, and she'll call you tomorrow morning and set this up. Looking forward to meeting Jeffrey. All the best. Bjorn. Now, not all climate deniers are pedophiles, but I bet most pedophiles are climate deniers. Just saying. And that's the Yale Climate Connections, which I showed you. The newly released, I just read to you about that. So Peter takes that piece. And in the emails, which contain numerous typos and grammatical errors, Epstein pressed Krauss, who himself, and I read that already, left Arizona because, again, he had allegations of sexual misconduct, which is rampant around the world, and especially in the United States. Now, I'm going to go down because I want to go, I want to go this and down to Professor Mann. Now, let's see. This is interesting. Below, please advise, is it possible to have it earlier, say 1 p.m. at his home, as I have another meeting at the St. Regis at 3 p.m. with the most amazing ladies in New York. I hope we can meet, and perhaps later Jeffrey can meet those lovely ladies too. And I don't know, appointment with Larry, an appointment with Leon Black, an appointment with Bjorn Lornberg, the same shit. So let's go back to this. And then Mann picks up on this. Another one. There are 5 pages worth of Bjorn Lornberg mentioned in the Epstein files. 5 pages. So he had his tentacles and his fingers in everything. And I really thank Peter Sinclair for putting this together for me, because actually he did it first. I was looking for this kind of stuff, and I just don't have time all the time to do all this digging, which so many people are really, really, really digging into the Epstein files. And, okay, so that was another one, another meeting. Bjorn Lomborg, noted purveyor of climate disinformation, was hanging out with Epstein. I wonder how many other climate deniers are in the files. I'm guessing it's a lot. The Venn diagram between okay with letting the world burn and okay with the child sex ring is likely large. That's Aaron Rugenberg, who I don't actually follow, so I don't really know. But get some coffee. The video below is 20 minutes long, does a good job of calling out the many mentions of Putin, Russian oligarchs, and their connections with Jeffrey Epstein. And of course, I'm not going to show that. It's probably Midas touch. So here's one thought on another climate denier caught up in the Epstein files. This is somebody that made a comment to Sinclair's piece. It's sad that public morality standards have dropped so far that I feel I have to bring this up. Krauss was merely ostracized for creeping on women, with no suggestion that he went for trafficked minors. My making this distinction is reminiscent of the time when the corrupt but basically humane Governor Edwards was being challenged by Klansman David Duke for governor of Louisiana. The noteworthy bumper sticker back then, vote for the crook, it's important. So thank you, Peter, for doing this. Definitely thank you. And then there's another piece, Epstein's climate denial, how misinformation and political information shaped Trump's environmental agenda. You know what? I'm going to make myself a little bigger, I think. I'm going to play with this. Hang on. Let's see. Can I make myself a little bigger here? Yeah, why not? Maybe I need to turn my I mean, because look at these articles are all right. It's Sunday. Believe me, I've got a lot going on. I'm leaving to go to my daughter's. I have 2 doctor's appointments in Buffalo. And I woke up, it was -7. And it is now, I don't know, what is it now? Let's see. It is now 1 degrees. Oh, so it went up. Yesterday it never actually went up. That's Fahrenheit because, we are in America. We are dumb shits. All right. So this is, again, the same type of thing that's going on with Lawrence Krauss. But this was actually pretty heavy. Epstein writes, I like the argument that more CO2 is good for plants. And Krauss responds he debunked it, but he tried, right? He tried, maybe. But the emails also reveal Epstein's direct involvement in political discussions related to climate policy. In one exchange, Epstein expresses his concerns about global warming, mentions discussing the issue with the Trump people in Palm, which we already saw. His remarks suggest that he was not only skeptical of climate science, but also closely aligned with figures within the Trump administration. When discussing the administration's authorization of funding for NASA, Krauss criticizes the move as a wasteful effort to glorify Trump's image rather than support meaningful scientific advancement. Epstein, however, responds with a chillingly fatalistic outlook. You told me you were worried about space, and I told you not to worry. He will decimate climate change and support verifiable projects. You see, this exchange is particularly significant because it highlights the influence of Epstein's climate skepticism on the highest echelons of power, which is what I started talking about in the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. These people think they're going to insulate themselves. They don't think it's going to touch them. And they just keep on. Yep. Keep on going. There's a couple of comments I think I should click. I should keep for later. It's really kind of hard. All right, listen. I'm trying, but where is that one? It was Nadia. All right, I'll just put it up now. Bjorn Lomborg is a disgrace to Denmark and by its ties to the Danish crown, Kalalit Nunet, Greenland. Yeah. Yep. He really is. He's just, ugh. He's gross. And I haven't studied the Deniers and that whole genre in a while because there's so many things going on. And I haven't. I really haven't. But these policies under Orange Turd, policies that prioritize the fossil fuel industry and rolled back environmental protections are hallmarks of the administration, which I talk about all the time because I really can't stand little fucking Lee Zeldin and all the damage he's doing. He's a pathetic little, what you call, nebbish. What a pathetic piece of shit. The suggestion that space exploration, rather than addressing the climate crisis, was somehow a better focus for scientific investment exemplifies the reductionist, anti-science attitudes that have been so prevalent in the administration. So this was from 16, and it was between Jeffrey and Lawrence. And again, it was that CO2 thing. That's about all they're really going to find. But it's just interesting, though, that he had his fingers in all this shit. His involvement with influential individuals, including Krauss, and his connection to Trump through shared views on climate skepticism raises critical questions about the role of powerful elites in perpetrating environmental inaction. Let's not do anything. Why bother? Trump himself, we know this. The hoax, and it's bull. He doesn't believe it, although probably deep inside he does, because we know in his golf course in Scotland that they've had to reinforce the walls around the golf course because of sea level rise. But when you echo these arguments like what was raised by Epstein, that carbon dioxide benefits agriculture, the result is dangerous convergence of misinformation and policymaking that risks catastrophic consequences for the planet. And the harmful impact of climate change denial is not just theoretical. The Trump administration's rollback of environmental regulations and promotion of fossil fuel interests have been directly linked to exacerbating climate related disasters. When we talk about this on this channel ad nauseum. I mean, this is what we are watching, along with overshoot, environmental destruction, ecological destruction, just everything happening. Fires, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, everything that's exacerbating, and it's not linear. Sure as shit isn't linear. According to a ProPublica, oh, they do a great job too. And the Guardian analysis, Trump's policies are projected to result in up to 1.3 million additional temperature-related deaths globally in the coming decades. This shocking statistic underscores the tangible, deadly cost of climate misinformation. And what is particularly alarming about the Epstein-Krauss correspondent is not just the persistence of climate myths, but the broader political and social networks that allowed the falsehoods to flourish. Epstein, with his immense wealth and connections, and Krauss, with his academic standing, were part of a broader system that fostered climate skepticism at the highest levels of power. So when, how did this all worm its way up? Worm its way up. It's money, power, influence, money, power, influence, corruption. It's corrupt. It's all corrupt. And it's corrupt on a planetary level where the actual life, all life on this planet is in jeopardy. Tracing back to this one guy being that damaging. I mean, of course, it started before that. But this fucking guy, Epstein, he's this fucking guy. Yeah. And then their influence on Orange Turd, a president whose policies were often dictated by the interests of fossil fuel industry, helped create an environment where environmental harm was not only ignored, but actively promoted, and it's still happening. I said it. I talk about Lee Zeldin. I like to report on all of these terrible things. The Bureau of Labor, Land Management, what's happening there? Lyle Lewis will tell you. I love Lyle. I really do. My gosh, I follow everything he says. But in reflecting on tragic consequences of Epstein's actions, both personal and political, journalist Kate Aronoff made an apt comparison between climate denial and denial of Epstein's crimes. She pointed out that both are rooted in an overwhelming desire to protect powerful interests at the expense of vulnerable populations. Yep, I would say that she gets a little bit of an applause there. Yay! Mm-hmm. Thank you, Kate. Okay, yeah, she did. Just as Epstein's abuse of countless women went unchallenged for years, so too has the denial of climate science persisted despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. In conclusion, the newly released Epstein-Krauss emails shed light on the dangerous ideological currents that have influenced some of the most destructive environmental policies of our time. The climate myths espoused by Epstein and echoed by Trump have real-world consequences that will reverberate for generations. If we have generations. As we continue to grapple, and there's that word we, Elliot, if you're out there, with the climate crisis, we must confront not just the science, but the political and financial forces which have consistently undermined our efforts to protect the planet. And I liked this. This was good. This is called Tired Earth. Decent. I'm definitely going to check them out a little more. This Tired Earth. I actually don't think I've ever used Tired Earth. So let's see, who are they? Who are they? They have news experts. Okay, who's the expert? Oh, there's a lot of people in this. How come I have never used this? Okay, look at all the amazing people. They're professors and businessmen, farmers, countrymen, climate activists, green campaigner, international tax expert, and environmentalist. So this definitely looks like a publication I am going to go to. I honestly have never used them all this time. So good that we found another another good another good one. So drilled, which is another decent one. What happened the day Bjorn Lomborg? And I'm probably Bjorn. Let's repeat after me. Bjorn. Bjorn. Okay. Tired Earth is excellent. Thank you. I don't know why I have not come across Tired Earth in my travels for all these years. Yeah. So he did. He wanted money. This little shit wanted money. And it was in 2012, the late pedophile and notorious influence peddler Jeffrey Epstein, Jerry, I don't know, I never heard of that one, to his friends. He had a busy day, and we saw that. And they're going to go into this where he had breakfast in the company of his lawyer and, blah, 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 blah. But then he had a 2:30 appointment with this Danish guy, Lomborg. Until that moment, Lomborg, a political scientist who has consistently argued that climate change is real, but governments should not do anything to address the issue and should instead focus on other priorities, he didn't know him. He was more of a friend. In documents released as part of this latest trove of materials published by the United States Department of Justice, he is described by Epstein's staff in a notation for their boss as John Brockman's friend. Brockman, an influential New York literary agent, was a longtime associate of Epstein, once described by the New Republic as the pedophile's intellectual enabler. The relationship was mutual. So Epstein was a funder of Brockman's foundation, EDGE, and in return, Brockman organized lavish billionaire dinners at which Epstein and his associates could mingle with the intelligentsia. I look at them and I'm thinking, okay, intelligentsia. Jesus. Mm-mm. Were they really so intelligent? Well, intelligent to destroy the United States. QAnon, anyone? So, I'm not going to go through all of this. You can read it, but I really just want to look at this. Brockman arranged a meeting with Lomborg, I guess. And in January 2012, he told the ecologist, the Copenhagen Consensus Center needed money. He claimed to have been the victim of a vendetta after his funding was cut by the Danish government. Well, why would it not be cut by the Danish government? He's an asshole. And he spread a bunch of bullshit. So it happened. It all happened. So they wanted to go through this, and Epstein met or wanted to meet. They settled on 2 p.m. Epstein's personal assistant instructed staff at his New York manor to make sure the door is answered promptly in a message written in bold with the subject 2 p.m. important appointment. A spokesman from the Copenhagen Consensus Center confirmed that there had been a single meeting in New York arranged by Lomborg's a literary agent between Epstein and the Danish economist. It would prove a fruitless encounter with the Copenhagen Consensus Center receiving neither money or help from Epstein. Maybe Epstein saw that Lomborg was the complete clueless moron, big asshole. Who knows? Epstein was known at the time for funding various philanthropic projects. Lomborg was not aware of Epstein's prior conviction at the time. That's how much homework he did, right? The conversation about which philanthropic investments deliver the most social good per dollar spent, but there was no further contact. Hey, the pair may not have hit it off, but Lomborg who has argued that poor people need coal, would find other allies eventually. So he got money. He did. And didn't Bill Gates donate USD 3.5 million to Lomborg's think tank between 2017 and 2022? So much for fucking Bill Gates. He's another scumbag. They're all scumbags. According to tax records reviewed by DSMOG, another Epstein associate, Bill Gates. Yeah, that's what they call him, associate. And he wrote that 3 Truths About Climate. Ugh, they all make me sick. All right, so this was pretty heavy duty. All right, and I'm not gonna, again, I don't like to read everything, but I do want to talk about this X post. Amber Woods, and Amber has been doing, she's got a lot of followers. An investigative journalist, trauma drenched and survivor focused, 120,000 followers. I have no reason to think that she is not a good person. There's a 2016 email exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and German MIT cognitive scientist Joscha Bosch, where they calmly discuss race-based intelligence, culling unused humans like neurons, mass death as population control, and fascism as an efficient system of government. How do you feel about that? Because it's hideous. MIT and Harvard. From Epstein and Bosch's messages, kill yourself if you're not being used. It's not a metaphor. It's a worldview. Jeffrey Epstein, 2016. The more radical idea is that brains are the nucleus of the human cell, the body, the membrane. Wonder how Epstein's network thinks? Excerpt below. Joscha Bosch. Each neuron in each layer would get different kill yourself if you are not being used instructions. This is pretty sick shit. Jeffrey Epstein, if the brain discards unused neurons, why should society keep their equivalent? I fucking kid you not. This is more of the exchange, she says. Joscha Bosch, too many people, so many mass executions of the elderly and infirm. It makes sense. Nazis, anyone? Because every time they went into where the Jews in Eastern Europe and then proliferating into Europe were moved into the ghettos, and they put them on the cattle cars. They would separate them by elderly and women and children, and they were the first ones to go to the gas chambers. These people are Nazis. So this is what he said. Maybe climate change is a good way of dealing with overpopulation. The Earth's forest fire. I'm sorry, but that's pretty disgusting. Back to Epstein. I looked up the statistics. Black kids in the U.S. have slower cognitive development and never catch up. And they had faster motor development. This is a piece of shit. Joscha Bosch. Treating individuals in a society as cells and the society itself as a well-organized organism is fascism, probably the most efficient and rationally stringent way of governance. Jeffrey Epstein, I think that mathematics-based thinking does not allow for censorship. And remember, Epstein was trafficking and grooming children and teens. So nothing about him still working in the private AI sector. Yeah, look at that. Pretty scary, huh? Bosch was named to the research team at the AI Foundation in 2019. Important to note, and this is the end of 2025. This is before this whole bunch of stuff has even been let out, actually. Bosch was in Epstein's Secret Service circle, and he's out here speaking about engineering consciousness, and no one is blinking an eye. Bosch and Epstein were talking about the research years ago. Epstein may be dead, murdered, in my opinion. but the network is still active. I'm going to read this. The idea of using AI to get consciousness to the next level is perhaps the most ambitious and abstract part of Bach's argument. It invites speculation on what this next level might entail: enhanced human cognition, collective intelligence, a deeper understanding of the universe, or even a form of consciousness that transcends the individual human minds. While current AI, like large language models, shows impressive capabilities in processing information and mimicking human-like text, it doesn't appear to possess subjective experience or understanding of the way humans do. However, Bach's long-term view implies that the journey of building AI is also a journey of exploring the very nature of the mind, potentially leading to breakthroughs that could fundamentally, you know what? One of my friends and followers completely considers AI as the extinction event we should be worried about, not necessarily the climate crisis. Honest to God, that's what a friend of mine thinks. Bach has a clip on Reddit. I'm not linking because I don't want to improve his metrics and inflate his ego, including the screenshot because of the first comment provides a summary of Bach's rebuttal. Risks of AI. Every time I read an AI fear rebuttal, I end up more convinced that AI fears are correct. This is Dr. 1245. The arguments are always unconvincing. There is no doubt general set of values that is practically recognizable and non-coercively internalizable as every adult of sound mind would lead to universal harmony. Thus, we cannot hope to align AI to human values. Human values are a fragile idea somewhere. So she goes on, and then she talks about Project Paperclip, the true story of the secret program that brought Nazi scientists to the, and this was in National Geographic, and she brings that up. After World War II, Project Paperclip, I can't do it. Well, sorry, can't do it, but Project Paperclip, for any of those who want to look at this. Maybe this is one I won't get. Yeah, here it is. It was initiated in 1945 by the established Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency, JIOA, of the United States, as tensions between the Soviet Union and the United States over global domination grew. The Truman administration envisioned Germany's scientific and technological advances during World War II as a valuable potential asset. Okay, I'm not going into this, but she does. She's an interesting sort. And she has, I guess she speaks up. You know, she doesn't seem too bad. I don't think. But, it's X. We have to be careful. It's X. It's X. All right. I'm coming back for a couple of minutes to talk to you about a couple of things. All right. Let's change. Let's go back to the main window. Yep. And let's see where you guys are on this. Where are you guys are on this? I haven't been able to, let's see here. I'd like to look at a few of yours. We're going to talk about this. Oh, good thing I'm not prepared. No, I don't want it that big. Make a breakfast while I wait. Second cup of coffee. Wrote a big doomy lament about the decadence of sports after I saw a picture of the new stadium being built right next to the old one. Okay, we're going to talk about the Buffalo Stadium at the end. But let's see. Where are we? Christian Nader's interview traces the line through Meyer Lansky, Robert Maxwell, Roy Cohn, and then Epstein, and had enough dirt to make a case for a handoff of being the honeypot operator at each step. Very interesting. I know, Nadia, you know so much more than I definitely do. Yeah. All right. Uh, where are we? Conscious couscous is a climate solution. Okay, you're talking about food. Um, Never heard anything about the various knowledge people, rich think tank. Well, there's a lot out there. There's going to be so much shit coming out. Too many tentacles. Yeah, Scott, absolutely. Too many. This piece of shit had his tentacles in everything. Everything. And it does make sense that the overwhelming majority of their thinkers who frequent the island are into the inane denier meme ideas, except for Chomsky, which I haven't figured out other than he was an associate who was Epstein looked at or looked to for more information, more learning. It doesn't look good for the old man. Does not. Nope, nope. All right, where are you? Thank you for pointing out the connection between Epstein files and climate crisis. This is super important. These folks are in the US government, yeah, pushing anti science propaganda. Absolutely. And that's why I wrote my piece for Substack. And that's why I'm talking about this today before I leave for the day, for the night, because I think it's really important. I do. I really do. And hello, Karen. Hello, Global. Use your AI avatar to deliver your message. I don't have an AI avatar. But hi, Poppy. The volume of name mentions and file pages in the email dump are greatly exaggerated. There are a ton of repeated emails printed in the threads with every reply, for example. Nonetheless, they're dark. Probably, but there's a lot of people that are looking at this. I don't have time. Oh, Poppy had another. Okay, Chomsky responded to Epstein because he was a huge donor. All right. That's what I had a feeling it had to do with money, of course. Definitely. Good morning. Chomsky's a nonsense. Deal with it. Good morning, Mitty. Oh my gosh. Look at all this. All right. You guys are talking about the stadium being built very near the old one so the team can move from Missouri to Kansas. I'm going to talk about what happened in Buffalo, but in a little bit. Yep. Absolutely. And I am going to talk about this in a different show because I'm not ready to talk about that yet. I've been researching a lot of stuff about Zionism and Holocaust and generational trauma and these links and what happened, but it's a very sensitive subject, guys. And I'm not ready. I'm not ready to do it, but I'm going to do it. Absolutely. Hi, Anthony. I'm so glad that you're here. All of you are here. I don't know what happened to Looney. I wrote him uh, this morning. I let him know. Christian Nader said that all the Mossad freaks involved here who lived in the relevant era were capos. Yeah, well, capos were in the concentration camps. The capos were prisoners that were taken, but who elevated themselves and worked right under the Gestapo, SS in the camps and did their bidding because I guess life, trying to stay alive, took precedence for them instead of morality. Although I think a lot of them were pretty well murdered after after the when Liberation Day came. Yeah, Liberation Day. Yep. All right, guys, where else are you? Too many. Where is he? Oh, it's no, Looney's not here. I don't see it. We could always bash MAGA. Oh, I will. Okay, let me show you this really. This won't get me demonetized. Although you guys know that I don't monetize when I'm live. You don't see any ads when I'm live. I'll do it afterwards because I'm not going to do that to anybody. It's obnoxious. It's annoying. When you're live, and there's nothing worse than seeing an ad. Let me set this little quick little. Ah! All right, wait. Hopefully. Okay, here we go. I'm not a part of a MAGA
agent. I'm not a part of a MAGA agent.
That was pretty good for Green Day. Hopefully, that doesn't hurt me. I really hope it doesn't. I liked it. I had to show that. Yeah. All right. So yes. Yeah, of course. I don't want to do that, but I do monetize after. I'll do it because I can't afford to do this without monetization anymore. I used to do better on, and I'm not asking for anybody to give me a super chat by talking about this. I'm just saying this shit's expensive. I haven't my property taxes were due and I haven't paid them, but I'm not going there. I have a sick cat. I'm taking care of him, and that's first. Just for the record, the Europeans have committed way worse genocide and Holocaust against their colonies. Oh, honey, there's so much history. There is so much history. Oh, my. But it's going to take me a while. And yeah, we are trapped in this shitty system. It is going to take me a while to get to where I want to be comfortable in talking about what I want to talk about that ties up all this. And I'm looking to get a uh, an interview with somebody named Jen Perlman from Miami. She's running for Congress against Debbie Wasserman Schultz, that big fucking bore, and she's amazing. I watched her before. I followed her career, and I'm going to try to get an interview with her because she was one of those people that was in the United States that was indoctrinated into the Zionist thinking of going to Israel and that all Arabs are bad and all this stuff. And it's quite telling. Well, I didn't set it up for now. Kyle Kalinske did an interview with her, but Nicole Sandler's had her on her show years ago. And I'm a moderator for Nicole. So, I will definitely. Oh, there's only 3 people working at the IRS, and 2 of them are looking into Trump's enemies, so you should be fine. It's my property taxes, hon. I have to pay my property taxes, and that's important. Absolutely, though. They're funny. You're all very funny. You're all very funny. Yeah. Outside orgs are saying 680,000 for Gaza. It's not 70,000. And I dare say they're lowballing by a factor of at least 2 out of defensiveness. Yeah. And I don't have that information yet. But let me tell you, I'm going to talk about this. I am definitely going to talk about it, but just not yet. But I really do want to have Jen Perlman on the show. I mean, she went on a very big platform like Kyle Kalinske, but why wouldn't she? And she has a channel. Why wouldn't she come on with me? I would hope so. I recommend for your research For Your Own Good by Alice Miller, How the Kids Were Raised Who Became. I say it. Give a shit. Why is Nazi a dirty word? It was a historical word. It happened. Gestapo, Nazis, capos. It happened. It's history. Mm-hmm. And I can talk about it. Yep. But I will, if just private message me the name of the book so I don't forget it. All right, wait a minute. I don't know her sidekick. I just want to talk to her about her experience when I'm ready. As you all know, I've been studying. I watch Holocaust survivor videos a lot. I mean, they're hours long. And it's like watching a movie in my brain. And you listen to these people and you realize they are nothing like the Zionists that became so prevalent in Israel. I can't tell you how moving it is to listen to these people, these survivors, and what they went through. And anybody who thinks it, says it didn't happen, I'm sorry, it did. And I feel very terrible. But a lot of them say at the end, people are going to forget and they're going to deny that it happened. and most of them say never again. And I've talked about this before, and I've showed the video of one of the survivors saying never again, but never again for everyone. Never again for Muslims, never again for Christians, never again for Jews, never again for anyone. But nobody listened to that. Yeah. You think that Netanyahu is going to make it legal? We know that Trump's trying to wreck everything he possibly can in the United States. Ugh. Yes, she is. She's absolutely horrible. I don't know who Pete is. We'll find out. We'll definitely find out. Yep. Let's see. Also, the Sturma Bedlung. I probably botched that one. It's far closer to ICE than Gestapo, which was a lot more like the FBI. Okay, thank you. I mean, I know there are so many links. Ehud Barak, Israel, Epstein. I mean, the story is big. I may not even be alive when it all comes out. But God damn it, it's compelling to me. And what started for me watching these Holocaust videos, I wanted to learn how the Israelis could become so brainwashed. They're like running around, they're like MAGA, even more violent. And I really need to do this. And I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even do it on this channel. Maybe I should do it on this other channel. But I don't have 1,000 subscribers on my other channel. And yeah, that's what they want to make it. That's what they want to make it. I bet it'll happen in Israel because they're brainwashed. And I told you about my friend from Long Island who moved to Israel and writes to me, and she was a Trump supporter, and how selfish it was. She's from fucking America, and she writes to me, and she was a Trump supporter, and she's saying that Iran should be bombed off the face of the planet. It would be better for everyone. The fuck? I'm like, and then she won't talk to me anymore because she can't, she says. I can't talk to you. It's too sensitive. It just upsets me too much. Meanwhile, she just went through school for another something, whatever, for free to become a dental hygienist. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the problem. Finkelstein said 90% of Israel agrees with scumbag Netanyahu and the Greater Israel Project. See, but that's because it's a smaller country. So you take all the MAGA in this country, and then you take the Israeli Zionists that agree with Netanyahu. I mean, what's the numbers? I'm going to go through all this, but I have to do it in a very sensitive way because I do not want to appear anti-Semitic, which absolutely is not going to enter the vocabulary because it's not. And it does seem like some people that talk about it really do come off as virulent anti-Semites. And I'm certainly not one of them. God damn, my history, I have a history with Eastern Europe in my DNA. Yep. A perpetual victim paranoia creates fertile soil for brainwashing, which is what I say. It's generational trauma. Handed down. Generational trauma created the monsters today, and it's very sad. It's very, very sad. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. Let's change gears a little bit. Yeah, of course not. And believe me, I watch Sam Cedar, and Mitty is a moderator over at the Majority Report. Sam Cedar. Sam and his crew and Emma are right on pretty much everything. I mean, I do. If I'm not there at the live show, I watch all the clips. I do. I watch all the clips because I think that they really have something going for them. And don't forget, I know there's only 37 people, but come on, give me a like. Give me a like. Give me a like. All right. The anomalies in the 2024 election in just the key states that were not present in the non-borderline Swede states. You know what? I bet the 2024. Listen, I'm going to put should I go get my hat? My tinfoil hat? I think Epstein was murdered. I think that they should dig up Bedminster. I think Ivana was murdered. I think that Trump is a mobster, criminal. Wouldn't put anything past that him and his people put out hits. He's from New York. He had a lot of connections, and he was a pig, slob. I hate to say pig. I really hate to say the word pig because pigs are cute. They are. They're very cute. So what do we call? What's a good word to call the orange turd? I don't know. Yeah, I do too. I think it was a murder. I thought this for a long time because then some people were talking about, well, they shipped him out of the country, but no, no, no. I think he was offed because he knew too much. Hmm. Just like Ivana, how she conveniently fell down the stairs. Oh my God. The orange, orange smarmalade. I like that one. Oh my God. Let me tell you. If there's one reason besides the Climate Crisis Club to stay on X, it's because there's so many funny people. I mean, really, seriously. I get involved in some of these funny uh, threads, where there's just people are hilarious. They really are. They really are. All right. I am now going to move back to the other screen because we're going to switch gears a little bit. And I want to go through. Well, we know that Big Bunny is playing. And we know that the hysterical, because today's the Super Bowl, and I can't watch it here because I don't have any network or any kind of TV like that. And I don't pay for anything except for I do pay to have YouTube, not have ads. But I am going up to Buffalo to spend the night with my kid, which is great. I look forward to her. And I think the whole MAGA having the idiot Kid Rock join. Wait a second. I want to show you this picture I have. I don't know. Oh, wait. Let me go back to the other one first and show you this picture. All right. If Kid Rock is actually concerned about grooming kids, then maybe he shouldn't have sung a song with these lyrics. Young ladies, I like them underage. Some say that's statutory, but I say it's mandatory. Are they a bunch of hypocrites? Oh my, these people are so self-deluded and so pathetic, it makes me sick. He's disgusting. I mean, Pam Anderson must cringe when she thinks about the fact that she was married to that guy. Ugh. Trump rages at Bad Bunny and accidentally exposes a big MAGA weakness. MAGA's hatred of the Super Bowl halftime performer reflects a hubris about what parts of culture are theirs. But those assumptions are proving wrong every day. To me, well, MAGA is pathetic, actually. We all know that MAGA is pathetic. And I'm really happy that this guy is playing. I am looking forward to the halftime show. I do think that Lee Greenwood is a fucking bore. And I think Kid Rock is pathetic. I mean, these phony Christians, they sit there, oh, we're so Christian and we love the Lord and we're going to do this. This is put on by Toilet Paper USA. Fuck them all. And I don't care about my language today. It's Pajama Sunday. I can fucking say what I want. So on Sunday, Bad Bunny is performing. We know that. And I paid you the little Green Day thing. And Trump he said that's not why he's skipping the event. He's skipping the event because he doesn't want to get booed like J.D. Vance was booed. Which, by the way, the networks, my daughter told me this. She saw the clip. The networks did not play the booing at the Olympics of J.D. Vance. The networks are complicit. Fuck the networks. You know that he's not going. So Bad Bunny, he attacked ICE during his Grammy Awards acceptance. Yay! And that gets another one here. Okay, let's give that an applause. Yay! That he harshly attacked them. Absolutely. using the phrase ICE out and claiming ISIS victims, we are Americans. In response, the White House stupidly raged that he attacked law enforcement, which we all know is bullshit. They aren't law enforcement. They are nothing like my local law enforcement here, who I actually don't hate. I like. They're not like that. These are people that are insignificant, little dick energy people with they think with their big guns that they're so tough. And it does make me sick because I've known plenty of people just like that. I have. So it's more. It's a genuine fear on Orange Turd's part that he's on the defensive big time in the war over ICE. Not just in political war, but just in the war that's shedding American blood in the streets, but also in the culture war. Uh-oh, hang on, wait. Dusty house. Cat hair. Wood stove. All right. And Orange Turd is losing it. The president has long regarded pro and college football, the players and fans at least, as his part of culture. During his first term, it was commonplace for him or other MAGA personalities to share video of football stadiums in red America, cheering him widely. His propagandists hailed these spectacles as barometers of what real America believes. Yeah, we all know real America. Just as Trump thinks that biker gangs, cops, and coal miners naturally love him, and I've told you this before, they don't. Not anymore like they did. And I know firsthand, at least with the bikers. He believes deep in his brainstem that all these tough guy players with forearm tattoos and their cheering, violence-relishing fans just have to be his people. Rude awakening is coming. Indeed, Trump and MAGA have reacted with particular vehemence when opinions they despise have crept into the world of football. He raged wildly back in 2017 when African American football players took a knee to commemorate Black Lives Matter during playings of the national anthem. I could never understand that. Kyle Kaepernick had every right to do what he did, and I was supportive every which way. Liberal Taylor Swift's relationship with pro receiver Travis Kelce became a deep source of angst on the MAGA right. You know what the MAGA right really are, in my unabridged opinion? And I love kitty cats, but they are, hopefully I don't offend anybody, I'm an elder here. I grew up in the 80s. I can say it. They're a bunch of pussies. They're a bunch of little pussy cats. They're insecure. And in my opinion, the men, particularly, and even the women that follow them, they're racist. They're ugly. They're hateful. They don't understand empathy. I was married to one, not Doug, not my second ex-husband. He hates Trump. The first one. And it's sad because I shouldn't talk about it, but it's my daughter's father, and he is the biggest fucking clueless, moron, idiot, low IQ guy on the planet now. I don't know what happened to him, but my experience, I think Trump would be would be better for the country. How do you feel now that your insurance is screwed up? Oh my gosh. Health insurance. I know I shouldn't talk about this, but it's sad. It's really sad. Oh, climate change. Oh, the climate always changes. Yeah. The intelligent high school dropout truck driver knows so much about climate science. Makes me so angry. I guess I really had to talk about it and get it out. Trump has a long history of criticizing the NFL rules that made the game safer for players. Sissy football is bad for America, he seized last fall, meaning that it should be more violent and gladiatorial. As Dave Zirin, a journalist who covers politics of sports, put it to me, Trump views the NFL as a place where violence and toxic masculinity should be celebrated. In other words, this should be Trump's cultural territory. Football has been an arena in which some of the biggest cultural battles of Trump era have been fought. And Trump and MAGA seem to think it's turf they should own exclusively, but it isn't. You could see this misplaced confidence on display last October when Homeland Security bitch Kristi Noem declared that ICE will be all over the Super Bowl, warning people to stay away unless they are law-abiding Americans who love the country. Translation, this is MAGA territory, and ICE will be hailed as conquering heroes here, so suck on that, libs. Well, we all know what's happening now. However, the enforcement operations have quietly been canceled. In the interim, of course, they murdered 2 Americans in Minneapolis, and protests against their raids have exploded across the country. As New Republic's Alex Shepard points out, these events have supplanted the Trump MAGA cultural movement of 2024. It's absolutely plausible that a significant ICE operational presence would now face hostility at the Super Bowl. Hardly a spectacle that Trump and Plastic Face would relish. Lurking behind all this Trump NFL weirdness is a broader form of hubris. Trump and MAGA have long assumed that MAGA-adjacent parts of the culture will rally to ICE violence. Notably, ICE is spending $100 million recruiting new agents with ads targeting fans of UFC fights, NASCAR, guns, and military tactical equipment. NRA belonging clueless fucking morons. ICE recruitment patches propaganda videos depict working for ICE, who, by the way, are bitching from what I've read on social media. You can't believe everything you read. Are bitching because they're not getting their bonuses and they're not getting paid. Conjecture. I don't have firsthand knowledge. I don't know anybody that works for ICE. But it's like a type of militaristic and patriotic national service. It's depicted mainly as heroism, as an opportunity to engage in virtuous cleansing violence that will purge the nation of its cosmopolitan, urban, diversity-loving, over-feminized, non-MAGA contaminants. Yet large swaths of the culture, including typically MAGA-friendly ones, have now turned out against all of this at a deep level, and some striking data from the new Marquette University polls show how. Shows that a whopping 60% of overall Americans disapprove of how ICE is handling enforcement. While a majority favors deportations in the abstract, when subjects are not defined, a sizable majority, 56% to 44%, specifically oppose deporting undocumented immigrants who have jobs and no criminal records and have lived here a number of years. Removing these people is core to making mass deportations a reality, and a robust majority rejects it. So even rural Americans disapprove. And that's where I live. And yesterday, I have to tell you, there was an action where I live I didn't go to, but for my tiny little area, 40 people showed up in the freezing friggin' cold to have a memorial for all of the people that have been offed by the ice skating rink. So a lot of people in MAGA-friendly constituencies oppose what they are seeing. That includes working class and rural Americans and young men who defected to Trump in big numbers and are a key target of pro-ICE propaganda. These are small subgroups, so we should be cautious, of course. You know, Fox News' latest survey shows that 55% of working class whites and even 50% of rural whites say ICE deportations are too aggressive. So we have this movement that's growing because we don't want to be that in this country. It's a parliamentary war on Americans. And the culture war, I think, is actually coming to an end. Well, not an end, but it's waning. Bad Bunny is a symbol of cultural diversity. If the NFL many of who owners. There's one, the Seahawks has a lefty owner, sort of, and it's the Patriots have a right wing owner. If the NFL, many of whose owners bankroll Trump, see Bad Bunny as good for business, that's very bad for the regime. I thought this was a great article. Thank you, Greg Sargent. Very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, before I go on, we'll have a little more of you guys. I'm not in a hurry actually to leave because I can't. My little girl, who is a big girl, she's not going to be home. Can we deport eyes? I bet they won't even. I'll put this as a sensitive video and all that shit, and I don't know if this will be monetized or not. Probably, maybe not, because I'm letting loose. I don't give two shits. My mouth is a potty mouth today. I don't fucking care. I wonder if Ivanka still has a soul. Still? It would be cool if she would tell all about her dad and her husband. She's married to that guy, Jared Kushner. You think she has a soul growing up in that environment? Look at Barron Trump. He looks like he looks like a Nazi, actually, an automaton. I have a lot of critiques about these people. They make me sick. Pat's owner was a big reason why I hated NE even more than I did due to Bielik and Brady. Well, I don't hate them so much now that they're gone, but the owner is still an asshole. Just like the Buffalo Bills. And I'm going to show you where you could... Oop, I'm freezing. I'm freezing all of a sudden. I'm going to show you a video I made. I can't play it. You can go and play it, about what happened in Buffalo. I made it in 2022, I think. You can see that the fracking goons, the Pagulas that own the Bills and own the Sabres, how they have sucked taxpayer money with Kathy Hochul's approval to build that new stadium, which in my opinion was absolutely ridiculous and shouldn't have been built in Orchard Park and could have been built in Buffalo if they had to build it all. And thank you again. You know what? I forgot to click. I have to click something in the software that will show these characters. I forgot to do that. Yeah. Where is Looney Tunes? Somebody go into Discord and go find him. But he does have a family, and it is Sunday. Thank you so much. Nadia, why is YouTube censoring you? I can't see them. If anybody can see. YouTube does whatever they want to do. They do. But anyway, I will be showing you a link to absolutely 100%. It's horrible. But we live in a culture that denies the Holocaust that occurred in the Americas. Absolutely. Look what when we colonially took over the United States, the slaughter of the Native Americans and scalping, hanging Native American indigenous people's scalps. Oh my God. When the fuck was America ever great? Really? Thank you, Tommyist. Well, we'll see what happens when I monetize this. Look, this channel is so far down the rabbit hole now. Not a rabbit hole that's negative. The rabbit hole of algorithms. If I can't even get 500 views on anything anymore. And I don't know if it's me or if it's because Jennifer's not with me or if it's because they took my channel down. Is it because my content is climate and environment? They don't give a shit. Is it true that trolls try to take down great channels like this one by logic and complaint? Probably. But actually, for me, when this channel came down, remember, it was an AI hallucination. And that's why I got it back when Cheryl Josie went in person to Southern California and went into Google. Yeah. No, what is this? Channels with mods should disable auto moderation features. Maybe auto flag is okay since they can be approved. Bad chats are removed from the chat replay no matter what anyway. Okay, I'll look at that. I'll look at the settings. I don't know. I haven't looked at the settings in a long time. But, all right. What I want to show you guys It disappeared your comment too? Jeez. Oh my God. It's because everyone has a channel. I've had a channel longer than everyone. Well, not Sam. He's had a channel longer than me. 10 years, I think we're going on. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. All right. Now we're going to go on to have a little fun. Thank you, Singing Way. Thank you, Karen. That was very sweet. Mwah. How much do I love all you? This much. You remember if you have kids and you used to go, how much do I love you? And this much. And you hug them. I do that to my cats because I am the crazy cat lady. And I'm proud of it. Good. Actually, I do have a picture I could show you that I let me see if I can find it in my photos. Hang on. Hang on if it's still here. Shoot. Oh yeah, it is. I'm going to take out a couple of pictures. And a couple of pictures. I save a whole bunch of shit. Might as well have picture time. I didn't set it up like this, but I'm going to take them all out and I'm going to put them up and we can play with them and we can see them. Why not? I save all kinds of shit. Oh my gosh. Thank God I have that humongous thing, the thing with humongous amount of terabytes. Is this how we feel? Oh, from Reddit. Yeah. Yeah. We might. Yeah. Oh, it's so sad. All right, this is me. Totally me. Totally. I should just leave this up. Not everyone needs a partner to live happily ever after. Some of us need a cat or 2 or 5 or 7. I loved it. Chaz sent this to me. I think it was Chaz. Yeah. He's not here today. Maybe he's with his family. It's Sunday morning. I love that one. Okay. And, since we were talking about the nefarious, know your ICE agent. Be able to discern between am I going to get in trouble for this? Trump Government Community Bulletin. Be able to discern between a federally authorized ICE agent and a criminal kidnapper within seconds of the first interaction is absolutely essential. An ICE agent. See? The mask and the military grade arms, unmarked vehicle, camo pants from Walmart, no uniform, no ID. If your abductor is an ICE agent, you must obey, comply, and submit. But then criminal kidnappers, the same mask, no ID, no uniform, camo pants from Walmart, unmarked vehicle. If your abductor is a criminal kidnapper, then you are free to fight for your life. Yay! Thank you for your cooperation. ICE, don't call us Trump's secret police. Shh, it's a secret. That was a pretty good one, right? Yeah, right? Isn't that? You're so lucky you are in Canada. I got a friend who wants me to go to an island in Argentina. The wealthiest U.S. corporations are paying their lowest tax rates in years. Meta, Amazon, Alphabet, Tesla. These corporations collectively avoided $51 billion in federal income tax in 2025. And I'm worried about paying my property tax. Although property tax, I'm gladly paying. But federal tax, those assholes have been taking out extra money since I was married because of a whole... And I haven't been with Doug since 2021 in May. And I'm still paying taxes. Looney Tunes! Hey, is Kim here too? Hey, welcome. All right. This is so cool. Yeah, camo pants from Walmart. That was a pretty funny one. All right, Tommyist. The irony of it is that the current culture war BS will fade into obscurity and irrelevance post-collapse as it will be replaced by the desperate struggle for survival. Yeah, you got that right. You got that right. Oh my God, what will they do with all that money? What will they do with all that money? There are 200,000 words in an English language to use in order to avoid censors? Probably. I don't care today. I mean, I'm saying what I want. If I can't monetize the show, really, who cares? You know, it's not that much anyway, but it does help. Like I say, it helps. Argentina bankrupted our farmers, and we gave them 40 billion to do it, and that was after everyone voted in. Yeah, I know. My friend is saying it's because a possible nuclear detonation by someone after the 2026 elections. YouTube censored when I mentioned the woman who delivered their own children or grandchildren to Epstein. No shit. Listen, who knows? Hopefully they won't take my... you know what? Kyle Kalinske says a lot worse. And so do the IHIP women. I'm sorry, but they're still on YouTube. They take down my tiny channel again for this. That's bullshit. That would be that would be totally ridiculous. Maybe I won't even monetize it. Why bother, right? It's about time, Looney. You made Sandy almost cry. Oh, I did. All right, now we had our little funnies. I'm going to go back to this because I want to show you what I've been busy doing. Okay. I have changed the banners. I decided to go with the climate, the colors, the warming colors. And I've kept our logo that Mindy Dunham made way back in 2017, I think. And I mean, I've worked on the logo a little. I had changed a couple of years ago the top and the font, but I changed to this, and I think it's more classy, and I like it. I do like it. And so this is what blue sky looks like. I think it looks good. This is what let me find the Facebook page. All right, here's the Facebook page that I don't do much with, but Jonathan O does. And we have 20,000 plus followers for years, though. And how many people really come on there every day? He's very pedantic in his shares. I mean, I'll show you a couple of his shares. Hey, you want to watch this? You want to watch this from yesterday? I also started something new. Let's see if we can play this.
Regardless of how...
Let's see if you can hear it, first of all. I think you can.
It's minus 7 degrees out here this morning.
Hang on. I'm playing. All right. Let's see how
it's
this
minus
looks.
7 degrees out here this morning. I'm out here to feed the birds. Regardless of how screwed up everything is, I mean, I'm in the United States, and we are living through an insane administration, which, some people want to call a regime. We've still got to live every day. And whether you feel like a doomer, where the big picture is just bleak because of overshoot and the climate crisis, and things can seem overwhelming, there's something you can do every single day. You can't give up. You just can't give up. There's fight in every one of us in any little way there is. I can't tell you what's going to happen because I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. I follow the science. I know that everything does seem pretty bleak in a big picture way, but it still doesn't matter. The birds are out here. They've got to eat. I feed them. You can do something too. Don't ever give up.
That was my message, because Tristan's death was heavy. Listen, Moon Man, don't do that. I don't want everybody to do thumbs down. He wanted to do that about the new, which I happen to like. So that's I like it. I want to show you Jonathan. Well, I put up some stuff, but Jonathan's got the weekend off. But Jonathan's got the most wildest stuff he puts up. But he'll put up surveys. He's definitely goes on these different rants, And I highly recommend our Facebook page because it's always different. And Jonathan is brilliant. So that's the Facebook page. And I started an Instagram. My daughter had the idea that I should do this. And yeah, me too. That and the cats, the wood stove, all that. But my daughter said I should start one. So we'll see if I can keep up with it. There's so much stuff. There's really so much stuff. Just too much, I think, sometimes. Yeah. All right. So let me go to an article. I kind of want to end up. See, what he wanted to say is if you don't like my new banner, to put a thumbs down and then take the thumbs, he'll count it. But I like the new banner. So what is it? It's my banner. I like it. And it looks good on all the different, I think it looks really good on YouTube. And Looney Tunes is right before when he said thumbnails really have to be conservative. And they are. Oh, this is great. We go back to the Supreme Court of BC on Wednesday requesting a 3-justice panel in order to halt of logging and stop removal of old growth here, which is fantastic. Yay! Kate, you are a warrior. Thank you for doing that with your husband. I think that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So I like it. I think it's classy. I think it's understated. The other one was too busy. And it was old. It was just old. All right, we're going to end. Well, I had a couple more, but I'm not going to. Okay, we're going to end with this one. But I just wanted, before we go away with football, shotgun formation, crooks and liars. Look at that. Doesn't that say it all? Happy Super Bowl Sunday. Let's try and keep it light this morning, which I didn't. Looking forward to Bad Bunny doing a great halftime show and the Seahawks winning. That is, unless you're a Patriots fan, of course. For those who aren't football fans, there's a lot of great Winter Olympic events to watch. I'm a big fan of figure skating and ski jumping events. So anyone watching the Puppy Bowl? Oh, I watched the Puppy Bowl every single year forever. I watched the Puppy Bowl in the middle. I didn't watch the halftime games. And for those of you interested, I can't show it, but on my channel, it's from 2022, and it's called Fracking, Football, and Fleecing, Business as Usual. And it is here. There was a longer show I had done on that. It's a big club and you ain't in it, fracking, football, and fleecing. And it's really good, actually. And it tells you, I give you the history of all of the Bill Stadium. And I'll put the link right directly to it because I think it's worth watching. Okay? All right. So we're going to end with climate human. Okay. Aw, isn't this sweet? Oh my God, Kim, thank you. I've definitely got to turn on that thing where the characters. You're so generous and so thank you and so sweet and so wonderful. I know Eric was a tough one. The interview with Eric. Oh, I bring every kind of different people. I love bringing different ones. Hi, Bongo Dave. Where's people are calling us environmental terrorists because we want to stop the logging and stop the removal of diverse wildlife. That's crazy. It just goes to show you it doesn't matter what country you're in. People are crazy. They don't understand overshoot. All right. We're going to end with Peter Kalmus. because I love Peter Kalmus. I did interview him many years ago, although he didn't want to come back with me because he wanted bigger venues. I didn't get too upset, too hurt. Maybe he'll come back now, although I'm an even smaller venue than I was. Okay, Trump, you ignorant fool. I'm a climate scientist. You're a half-wit insurrectionist. And cold weather still happens on an overwhelming planet. I think I should, let me see. I'm going to play. You know how I like to fool around with playing little music. Okay, I'm going to play this. All right. I'm going to play this while I read. Then I can make a clip. Okay. Let's do this. Let me start over. Trump, you ignorant fool. I'm a climate scientist. You're a half-wit insurrectionist, and a cold weather still happens on an overheating planet. I'm exercising my First Amendment right to free speech. I never use AI in my writing. Here in the U.S., we've been dealing with rising fascism during a massive winter storm, which brought extreme cold, snow, and freezing rain and power outages to most of the country. A cold snap like this must mean global warming isn't real, right? Trump truthed out this idiotic and thoroughly debunked notion on his stupid social media site. Oh, record cold wave expected to hit 40 states. Really seen anything like it before. Could the environmental insurrectionists please explain whatever happened to global warming? Asshole. Oop. Donald, you ignorant fool. Yes, I could explain. Before I do, though, let's clear up one little thing. It's true. I do care about having a livable planet, but you're the insurrectionist, not me. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Jack Smith powerfully testified about your literal insurrection a few days ago. But let's be real. We already knew. Also, you and your ICE Gestapo are the actual domestic terrorists, not the innocent people you murder, because you have no ability to empathize. Your accusations are confessions. You are fascists. You are traitors, and you will pay for your crimes. Now let's address your question. Whatever happened to global warming? How can you be so obtuse? Climate and weather are two different things. Climate is the average of weather over a long time and a large region. An average, you imbecile, is a typical value in a set of data, often calculated by dividing the sum of the values in the set by their number. Weather is like a single turn at bat, while climate is like a player's lifetime batting average. Since weather is variable and we have seasons, we still get cold days from time to time and from place to place, even as the planet as a whole gets hotter and hotter from burning coal, oil, and gas. Unfortunately, nothing has happened to global heating. In fact, it may be accelerating. The last 11 years included the 11 hottest on record. Last year was the third hottest ever recorded after 2024, 2023, and 2024 was the first year above 1.5 C. Here's a plot of global average surface air temperature over the last 175 years. Up. Interestingly, it's possible that extreme winter storms could intensify as the planet warms, at least in the near term. The Arctic is warming about 4 times as rapidly as the rest of the planet, causing a reduction in the thermal gradient between the pole and latitudes to the south. This could cause the jet stream to weaken and meander far to the south, causing frigid Arctic air to cover much of the U.S. as it's doing right now. Additionally, hotter oceans and hotter atmosphere mean warmer, moister air can come up from the Gulf of Mexico, leading to extreme wintry precipitation. It would be wise for us to improve our understanding of how Earth systems like this work. Since we all live on the Earth, And burning fossil fuels is changing everything so rapidly and dangerously. Climate scientists are working on these and other crucial questions, and it's incredibly short-sighted to slash science funding and destroy leading research institutions. Of course, it would be even more wise to ramp down fossil fuels and transition to solar as quickly as possible. We already have more than enough science to know that we urgently need to do this. Indeed, Mr. Trump, despite all the evil and damage you're currently doing in so many ways, your most enduring legacy to humanity will be a needlessly hotter Earth. You're taking us all to a higher maximum temperature than if your fool ass had never sat in the White House, and the damage is effectively irreversible. Planetary overheating is causing the intensification of flooding, fires, droughts, and heat waves. These increasingly horrific impacts will continue to get worse as long as fossil fuels continue to be used, undermining food systems, creating geopolitical chaos, and threatening life, all of life on Earth. And one last thing, I'm not scared of you. And I will keep speaking out. There's too much at stake. I have too much empathy and love for other beings to ever silence myself. Thank you for your attention to this matter. With love and rage, Peter. Oh my gosh. I loved it. That was so good. I loved it. I love Peter, and I'm really, really happy that I was able to read that and that you were able to listen. And that was that. So, Tony says he believes the summer of 26 will be the hottest on record in all recorded history. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Me too. Yep. Yes, he does. He was a great guest. He really was. Fossil fuels are bad, obviously, but renewables are not some magic bullet that will allow us to rescue business as usual without producing their own set of problems, which I agree with. But we're going to do something. Even though Elliot says the tyranny of humans that are on the right track in their hearts are going to keep trying. Even if this evil MAGA bunch of morons in the other countries that follow that kind of thing aren't. I still would like to see change. And I don't always agree with my guests, but I still feel that there are things that can be done to make life a little bit more habitable on the way down. Because that's where we're going. We're circling the drain. And now it's time for an environmental coffee house flush of the day. So let's see. I have a multi-million idea. Now that MAGA owns most cable TV networking, we can reboot Mythbusters and prove that globes, science, climate, dinosaurs, etc. are all fake. Satire to us, though. You're funny, Soul Life. You really are. These fucking lunatics never got past high school science. Don't waste your breath. Oh, I know. Yeah, they are. But you see, the thing is, Tommy, sometimes it's a cost-benefit analysis, or sometimes you're going to weigh the evil. And since we have really not much power, we don't even know if we're going to be able to vote. We don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I do like my battery backups much better than fossil fuel backups. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely not. I know where you come from. I know what I think in my heart of hearts and how I feel. I don't like mining. I don't like it. Look, no energy comes without its faults. Energy is a destroyer. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. All right. So where are we? Flush gates. I hate the windows. Okay, that's an easy one. We can flush him for so many reasons. Let's flush Bill Gates. Bye-bye, Bill. Woo! Flush him down. Let's flush him down. We're going to flush him down. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll do one more flush. Okay. We'll do that. Let's flush him. Let's flush him. And the ice in my yard, too. Okay. All right, guys. I think, woo! That was a little loud. I think it's time to say hasta la vista, baby. And, oops, enjoy the rest of the day for everybody that's watching the Stupid Bowl because it's overpriced and hideous and they all fly everywhere and make too much money for a sport. What can you do? Kate, you're wonderful. Good luck with your hearing is right. Absolutely. So let's see. What else do you guys have to say? Well, I want to thank you, MIDI doctors, for coming. Linda, I am Nephrist, Dale, Nadia. Come on, I got 2 thumbs down. Take them off. 2 thumbs down for what? You don't like my new banners? Singing Way, thank you. Poppy, Foggy. Let's see if I can get everybody. Tommyist. Love you, Tommyist. Anthony. I guess I won't flush the Seahawks. Alex. And Moonman. And Soul Life. And Chemishwari Kate. Oh, Earthbag Homies. Hello, I missed you. I missed you. Yeah. Everybody that came today. And Linda. Oh boy, after the wackadoodle winter we've been having, I'm dreading what wildfire season will look like this year. Me too. For you and for us. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Yeah, right? I like that. I don't even want to go. I know that the cats are hungry, but I've had such a good time. I love Sundays, you know. Sundays are my day to be as crazy as I want to be. You know? I do. I really do. And thank you for the super chats. Infinite thumbs up. Well, I love you too. Your generosity. You're such a great person. Good friend. See how he's got he was the alternate channel when I was down. Yep. On YouTube. Yep. Oh, my only Sunday off work. Yay. How much do I love all of you? You're so just wonderful. Yep. Aw! Yay! Well, thanks for speaking up. All right. Have a most amazing rest of your day, wherever you are, whatever country you're in. And know that there's a lot of love here. It's a safe space. And if you feel like you need help, the Good Grief Network is out there. Na 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 na